You are eating the same way you ate at 40, maybe even less. You cut carbs, you skip dessert, you try to be careful, and your body is still changing in ways you didn't expect. The waist, the sleep, the energy, the mood swings that come out of nowhere. And nobody, not your doctor, not the magazines, not the wellness influencers, has given you a straight answer about why. Here's the truth. Menopause doesn't just change your hormones, it fundamentally rewires the way your body processes food. What worked before will not work now, not because you're doing something wrong, but because the rules changed. Today, I'm going to give you the rules that nobody told you. 6 nutritional shifts that are specifically designed for the postmenopausal body, and 3 things that almost every woman is doing that are making the symptoms significantly worse. Let's start with the science. In plain language, I promise. Here is what is actually happening inside your body. During your reproductive years, estrogen did something you probably never knew about. It acted as a metabolic regulator. It helped your cells respond to insulin efficiently. It directed fat storage toward your hips and thighs. It protected your blood vessels. It supported your muscle mass and bone density. When estrogen declines, that entire regulatory system shifts. Your cells become less responsive to insulin. This is called insulin resistance, and it's the reason why the same meal that didn't affect your weight at 40 now seems to go straight to your abdomen. Research from the National Institutes of Health confirms this. The loss of estrogen directly contributes to increased abdominal fat storage, independent of calories consumed. This is not about willpower. This is physiology. At the same time, your muscle mass begins to decline faster, which slows your resting metabolism, and your gut microbiome shifts, affecting how you absorb nutrients and regulate hunger hormones. 3 systems changing simultaneously. One solution: eat differently, not less. Differently. Let's talk about what you've been told and why it's actively working against you. Myth number 1: eat less, move more, and the weight will come off. After menopause, this advice becomes not just ineffective, it can be harmful. Severe caloric restriction in a post-menopausal body accelerates muscle loss. Less muscle means a slower metabolism. A slower metabolism means the restriction has to get even more severe to have any effect. It's a spiral that leads to fatigue, bone loss, and a body that is fighting you at every step. The answer is not less food, it is the right food. Myth number 2: you should cut all carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are not the enemy. Refined, processed, high glycemic carbohydrates are the problem. But complex carbohydrates, oats, legumes, sweet potato, whole grains, are essential for serotonin production, gut health, and managing the cortisol spikes that menopause triggers. Cutting all carbs often makes anxiety, sleep problems, and mood swings significantly worse. This is not your imagination. Myth number 3: the same diet that worked for weight loss before will work now. Before menopause, your hormones were doing a significant portion of the metabolic work for you. That infrastructure is no longer there. You now need to rebuild it through food, specifically through protein, fiber, and phytoestrogens. Not through restriction, through targeted nutrition. Now let's get specific. Here are 6 nutritional shifts that are designed for the post-menopausal body, based on current research, not generic advice. Shift 1: protein. More, and earlier in the day. After menopause, your body becomes less efficient at building and maintaining muscle from protein. This is called anabolic resistance. To compensate, you need more protein, and you need to distribute it differently. Aim for 25 to 35 grams of protein at breakfast and lunch, not just at dinner. Most women eat the majority of their protein at the evening meal. But research shows this timing is the least effective for muscle synthesis after 50. Eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, legumes, fish. At breakfast, not as an afterthought. Shift 2: phytoestrogens, nature's hormonal support. Phytoestrogens are plant compounds that weakly mimic estrogen in the body. They won't replace your hormones, but studies show they can reduce hot flash frequency by up to 26%, support bone density, and improve cardiovascular markers. Best sources: ground flaxseed, 1 to 2 tablespoons daily, edamame, tempeh, tofu, and lentils. These are not supplements, this is food. Shift 3: Fiber. The gut hormone connection. Your gut microbiome plays a direct role in estrogen metabolism. The specific bacteria that process estrogen are called the estrobolome. When your gut health declines, and it often does in perimenopause, estrogen metabolism becomes less efficient, worsening symptoms. 25 to 30 grams of fiber per day from diverse plant sources feeds the estrobolome and supports hormonal balance. Most women get less than 15 grams. Shift 4: Calcium and vitamin D, together, not separately. Estrogen decline accelerates bone loss at a rate of up to 20% in the first 5 years after menopause. Calcium without vitamin D is poorly absorbed. Vitamin D without magnesium doesn't activate properly. You need all three. Food first: sardines with bones, fortified plant milks, leafy greens for calcium, fatty fish, and egg yolks for D, pumpkin seeds and dark chocolate for magnesium. Shift 5: Anti-inflammatory eating. Menopause triggers a state of low-grade chronic inflammation, which contributes to joint pain, brain fog, fatigue, and cardiovascular risk. An anti-inflammatory diet, rich in omega-3s, polyphenols, and antioxidants, directly counteracts this. Fatty fish twice a week, extra virgin olive oil daily, berries, turmeric, green tea. This is not optional decoration. This is your primary anti-symptom strategy. Shift 6: Blood sugar management. The most underrated change. With increased insulin resistance, blood sugar swings become more dramatic. High glycemic meals cause energy crashes, mood swings, night sweats, and cravings. The fix: always pair carbohydrates with protein or fat. Never eat carbs alone. Start meals with protein or vegetables before carbohydrates. This single change has been shown to reduce post-meal blood sugar spikes by 30 to 40%. Let me give you a specific list, not a vague eat healthy list. These are foods with documented effects on menopausal symptoms. For hot flashes, ground flaxseed reduces frequency by up to 26% in studies. Add to yogurt, smoothies, or oatmeal daily. Soy in its whole food form. Edamame, tofu, tempeh contains genistein, the phytoestrogen most studied for vasomotor symptoms. For sleep, tart cherries are one of the few food sources of melatonin. A small study found that drinking tart cherry juice twice daily improves sleep duration and quality in older adults. Kiwi fruit, 2 per night before bed, has been shown in clinical trials to improve sleep onset and duration. Magnesium-rich foods at dinner: pumpkin seeds, dark chocolate, spinach. For mood and brain fog, omega-3 rich food: salmon, mackerel, sardines, walnuts. Support serotonin production and reduce inflammation in the brain. Fermented foods: kefir, kimchi, yogurt, feed the gut-brain axis. Turkey and eggs are rich in tryptophan, the precursor to serotonin. For bone protection, sardines with bones, 350 milligrams calcium per 100 grams. Fortified plant milk, tofu set with calcium sulfate, sesame seeds and tahini, cooked broccoli. And remember, vitamin D from food alone is rarely sufficient after menopause. This is one area where supplementation after blood test is genuinely important. For weight management, legumes, chickpeas, lentils, black beans are the most underrated tool for post-menopausal weight management. High protein, high fiber, low glycemic index. They slow digestion, stabilize blood sugar, and feed the microbiome simultaneously. Now, the harder conversation. Some of these will surprise you because they are marketed as healthy. Alcohol, even moderate amounts. I know this is not what you want to hear, but alcohol directly disrupts sleep architecture, increases hot flash frequency, raises cortisol levels the following day, and is now classified as a Group 1 carcinogen with a clear dose-dependent link to breast cancer risk, which is elevated after menopause. This is not about one glass at a celebration. It is about regular, habitual use and the specific way alcohol interacts with the post-menopausal body. Ultra-processed foods. Especially diet versions, artificial sweeteners, emulsifiers, and food colorings disrupt the gut microbiome, specifically the estrobolome we discussed. Studies show that women with less diverse gut microbiomes have more severe menopausal symptoms. Diet sodas, low fat flavored yogurts with added sugar, packaged health bars. These are working against your hormonal balance. Refined carbohydrates and added sugar, bread, pastries, white rice, sugary drinks. With reduced insulin sensitivity, these foods cause blood sugar spikes that trigger cortisol, worsen hot flashes, and increase visceral fat storage. Excess caffeine, especially afternoon. Caffeine raises cortisol, disrupts sleep quality in ways you may not notice until you reduce it, and can trigger hot flashes. If sleep is an issue, this is the first variable to change. Green tea is a much better option as lower caffeine, high in L-theanine, which calms the nervous system. The surprising one, low-fat dairy. Full-fat fermented dairy, yogurt, kefir, aged cheese, is actually beneficial for the post-menopausal microbiome and bone health. The fat removal process in low-fat dairy also removes fat-soluble vitamins, including vitamin K2, which is essential for directing calcium into bones rather than arteries. Let me give you something you can start tomorrow, a 1-week reset built around everything we've covered. Every morning, add 1 to 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed to your breakfast. This takes 10 seconds. It addresses phytoestrogens, fiber, and omega-3 in one step. Every breakfast, include at least 25 grams of protein, eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, smoked salmon. Protein in the morning is the single most impactful nutritional change for post-menopausal muscle and metabolism. Every lunch, start with vegetables or protein before any carbohydrate. This one habit reduces blood sugar spikes by up to 40%. Every day, 1 serving of legumes, lentil soup, chickpeas in a salad, black beans with eggs. This addresses fiber, protein, and blood sugar stability simultaneously. 3 times a week, fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, sardines, herring. This addresses omega-3, vitamin D, and anti-inflammatory action together. Before bed, magnesium-rich snack, a small handful of pumpkin seeds or 2 squares of dark chocolate, and 2 kiwis if sleep is a problem. Cut or significantly reduce alcohol, ultra-processed foods, refined carbohydrates, caffeine afternoon. 7 days, no extreme restriction, just a different structure. If this video helped you see your body differently, not as something that is failing you, but as something that is asking you for a different kind of support, please share it with a woman in your life who needs to hear this. Subscribe for more content that gives you the science without the overwhelm. And leave me a comment. Which of these 6 shifts are you going to start with? I'll see you in the next video.